These are the best highlights from all the matches of the day during the 2024 LCK Summer Split
game.
Which might give a level 6 all-in angle for Plata and Teddy, and the Dragon should be taken here by DRX. Oh, they are looking...
I need to teach my mind to factor in cleanse more often now that the cooldown is a bit longer. As DRX, yeah, they were thinking about going for it here, but Zeka able to get that roam over. Yahoo very far away from that mid lane.
This wave
does finally turn up.
OneLife is missing out a little bit here.
Yeah. Still prioritizing this one quite a lot as Delight goes in. Flash out immediately from Pleta, but there's still the cease and desist coming in. Extendo Beam gets a fair bit of work done as Pleta trying to turn a Peanut. Goes down for first blood. Pleta able to get that kill as well, as now Sponge turns into the Vi and is able to take down the Zeri. More of these resets coming forward, but I don't think they're going to be able to get too much more. And the Dragon loses interest in the battle completely. DRX come out ahead. That is going to be very powerful here for Hanwha Esports, especially with Zeka on this Tristana. A lot of pushing threat from this squad already.
Bunch, cheeky steal?
Perhaps, but no, not going to be the case. There's now Frog once again getting burnt, but doesn't actually get the Impale fully underneath the turret. That was a bit of a weird situation there.
Yeah, so he got the Impale, and then Doran flashed out immediately. There was no follow-up either, so I don't think he would have been able to kill him by himself as a rule. Pleta.
All right, going for it here as he does Hex Flash over that wall. Viper gonna get Solar Flared, immediately cleanses that one, but there is more CC to come on through here as in comes Sponge, and yeah, Viper is just going to skate away. That is a wall, even though it does look like a pit of doom.
El Cove Gaming!
Yeah, that's a bit of cliff skating as well there from Viper. You do like to see that one.
It's like a skating game, but it's more edgy.
Yeah. Like with those new, okay, never mind. We got a bit of a dive here towards the bottom lane as Frog gonna flash out of the way, avoids the equalizer quite well as Yahoo. He came in with the teleport, so he will be able to keep his top laner alive, but no one dead on the side of Hanwha Esports, and they get the teleport at this point in time. And I just love that we're talking about this DRX roster that was struggling to get any wins at all in spring. But
another one.
Capable of maybe getting something done here as there is a two-man Impale like you were talking about. Doran trying to offer the damage back. Cease and desist comes down. He's very tanky, but not quite tanky enough. And the turret juggling was beautiful. Doran just wanders his way out. DRX a bit too late on the play. Sponge will be able to even things out, or at least might be able to even things out by taking this Dragon as Zeka moves on over. Gets the control ward down, and I think Sponge might have to get himself out of here. Nice little stun here onto Zeka as he closes the gap. Viper's moving down though, and Heartbreaker to come in. Zeka gets himself out, and do they manage to get this? Extender Beam comes in, and the smite a little bit too early there from Sponge, and Peanut comes on over and locks it down. Oh dear, Viper's now ulted on top of Teddy as well as it's starting to fall apart for DRX. He wants to stand his ground, but I don't think he's going to be able to do so, and there it is. He gets the Feather Storm. That's all Viper wanted. And Doran's going to come in here as well, so it's our first honest 5v5 as in goes Delight, finds a decent Pulverize as Yahoo tries to flash away. It's a decent ulti, but it's a better couple of kills for Zeka. And the Skarn able to answer one back onto Doran, but already it is a one fight for Hanwha Esports. Oh, never mind, they might be able to turn it here onto Delight, but never mind. Sponge going to be taken out and Delight walks away. Frog now is just going to get burned down as he's running the wrong direction, and it's another kill for the Tristana. Massive, almost a quadra kill if we had time on our side for Zeka, who now moves up to 4-0-2.
Because it's so insanely strong.
Oh yeah.
It looks like that's what they're going to do, but they don't have vision, so they're going to need to find a miracle fight here. Yeah,
there's the flash out from the Solar Flare, so Doran not going to have that available right now. Sponge wants to get in and go for some sort of steal, but he's going to get pushed away. That is going to be that soul point that you were talking about. Equalizer onto 4 is fantastic, but the flashes out get DRX out of there. And they will be able to get themselves this outer turret in the mid lane. So it's not all bad news, I guess. Pulling back that gold lead a little bit, but as far as the future is concerned, it's looking more and more dire. That soul point just so powerful.
But that was unfortunately not his highlight series. But right now, he is doing a great job as, Frog.
Yeah, Frog might be in a little bit of trouble here. Cease and desist comes down. He's going to acquiesce. Does impale a couple of people, but he's really dead. And that is now going to be Hanwha Esports turning that into another turret. These 5 grubs really doing work. For Hanwha right now.
Skarner, a pick that remains extremely high pro, and I think justifiably so, is Delight. Might have to ult here.
Getting engaged on here a little bit. In fact, he's just going to turn it. Teddy's going to get blown up in an instant. Pleta to go down as well as now Viper. It's his turn to get a few of these kills. A double already set up as now he just skates on in, looks to execute Yehu. He's going to be able to help Zeka grab that one. And Frog, he's spared this time around, but he is the only one left standing. 3 full items now and does have that luxury QSS's Sponge could just be dead. Yeah, he's just dead. Frog is going to come in, and yes, he will pay for it, but I think going 1 for 1 in that instance, he's going to be feeling okay with it. As now Peanut looking to try and turn this one. Viper from over the wall just safely free hitting onto DRX. Frog going to get slowed down. Pleta as well, as that extendo beam got so much value, and this inner turret is not here, so cease and desist comes down. Yehu just finds himself gap closed on. Peanut almost falling down, not quite going to go though, as Hanwha Esports push further forward. Teddy just trying desperately to do something, but it is just a double. 7, 1, and 6 for Viper, and Hanwha Esports will break open the base. He's just struggling, walking down this red carpet, and it's not where he wants to be. Is Buster Shot actually going to be used against Zeka considerably here? Thankfully, they're really far ahead, so it doesn't actually matter as he crab raves on his way out. Man, that was almost really weirdly done from Zeka and almost caused his demise, but they're 12,000 gold ahead, so it doesn't matter.
Hanwha Life.
5 members of Hanwha Esports, finally, they have found their way. They found the map. And now they're looking to try and break open this top lane as well. Delight just being that front line, and there is the pulverize onto 2. Equalizer is beautifully placed at the same time as now Viper is just going to dash in and burst fire them all down. It's a double. The other AD carry going to get one as well, and he's now skating over the Nexus, getting shot at by 2 Nexus turrets without a care in the world. That is going to spell the end of the game as Frog versus Doran. We're going to watch that instead of the Nexus dying because it was a little bit more interesting. Some teleports going out.
Ooh,
and
Renata. Okay, so Renata obviously really good into short-range characters. So that is the Xin Zhao, that is the Kai'Sa, and that is the Leona. Also in engaged supports generally.
Sponge going to make a return visit. Let's see who's going to be able to take the first one. It is going to be Sponge, but it's Peanut focusing on the 1v1 that isn't going to be one of those for much longer. Zeka makes his way in. There's the Flash Emperor's Divide as Audacious Charge gets Sponge out of there, or at least attempts to. Oh my god, he's still alive! The Equalizer not doing too much of anything at all as Yehu breathes on them as Sponge makes his exit.
I can't believe he lived!
It wasn't exactly the greatest of Owen Wilson's, as we might get saved by some action, as no, the boulder's going to go wide. Harpoon not though, as that's an Equalizer, gets the flash out of Frog, who is really getting trounced in this lane. Even the Equalizer that was used aggressively kills the wave as well.
They're like, not going well was one thing.
Oh no! Frog tried to just leave. He tried to exit, and it's not really going to work out. He is able to get the Impale off, but Peanut isn't going to die to the turret. Breaks the last shot that would have killed him, and so he's going to be absolutely fine. That is going to be first blood going on over, and Delight looking for a little bit of an entrance into the enemy jungle. There are a lot of bad guys there, though, so probably not going to go for too much, as now he's going to have to take the northern exit. Nice Zenith play. Decent handshake as well there, but the kitchen sink is now falling down on top of him. Teddy finds that backline as Yehu's going to look to flash away. Handshake not going to save Delight this time, as Peanut locks down the kill on the other side. So it's Dragon for Renata, and I guess you might take that if you're Hanwha Esports, but at least DRX are on the board.
Might be able to 1v2.
He is level 11.
Very strong here. Delight's also there. The main question is, can Teddy join the fight? Doesn't have a killer instant available. Sponge obviously does have his ultimate, but ultimate doesn't do a whole lot. If Rumble is right on top of you, but they don't want to risk it. They also do have Pleta on the back making his way over, and they're just going to trade the dragon instead.
Yep, no, head towards this dragon. We'll see exactly what soul we're going to get, as we'll know. There we are. So looks like Orcs is paying attention. We got some high-value dragons.
It doesn't feel great to just auto an entire wave one by one minion, but that's kind of what you got to do. Whereas Teddy obviously has Shiv.
As well. Weather looking for that opportunity. Doesn't find the Zenith Blade, and now, yeah, this is looking real worrying. However, they just turn it onto Zeka. Yehu able to breathe on him, and it's going to be Sponge locking down the kill. I felt like Hanwha Esports had them where they wanted them, but it turns out DRX were very happy about that fight.
Crucially,
there's a killer instinct as Viper going to have to get out of there. Does so. Tumble going to be enough. And now Teddy doesn't have anything, and he is really dead. Almost manages to kill Viper, but it's not going to happen. So the immediate punishment.
Teddy just tried to have a little bit too much fun. And we all know that's not allowed if you're an AD carry.
Precisely not. And Doran and Viper going to make short work of this outer turret in the mid lane as well. So that is a little bit of a pivotal mistake. But he's now looking to try and wrap around and lock down.
Oh, they know, but they don't.
Yeah. This is sole point, remember, for Hanwha Esports. If he gets in here and steals it away, there he is! As he's looking for Yehu, the equalizer comes down and he doesn't care about taking the dragon. He wants the kills, but he'll get neither as he's wiped out, and Yehu just going to be able to escape. Stage left. All right, there is Sponge making his way out of Zeka. Wants to get it, but he's just popped like a balloon. I don't know what the thought was behind that, but it was aggressive and he got punished.
Okay, no,
it's been a long time.
I definitely have the wrong graph.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the big... Oh, Sponge.
Yeah, he's going to get spotted and immediately punished. They do get the handshake into the wall there as well. But Sponge has an ultimate. And now he's going to turn it around. Oh my goodness, the bailout does nothing. And yes, they managed to kill the Zins out, but at what cost? It is 2 going down for Yehu. They'll grab one for the Space Bane wielded by Teddy as well. And now they're just doing their best to try and escape, but it's just not going to happen. Getting out of the way of this Skarner is a difficulty, and he even gets the Impale. Blind over the wall, gorgeously played. They'll turn this into a Baron. Looks like we're going to game 3.
The Unseen Frog is the deadliest Atlas. As Hanwha Life go in on Zinzao, and it just doesn't end up working out. Zeka.
Oh dear, well, Emperor's Divide is going to push them back into the pit. And he does, you know, shift some sands to get himself out of there. Teddy not able to chase him down. It's, oh, never mind. Oh, okay, that was too close.
This is a conversation we've been having, and this is by no means specifically.
Oh, there's a solar flare. It's going to catch him right as Peanut went home. Delight is left to the wolves. He finds a handshake, but I don't think Doran's going to be saving him here, and Pleta wants to kill him too. Delight manages to try to bail himself out, but he's going to be just delayed death here. And that is another one going over to Teddy. Just disaster for Hanwha. And then we'll fight it out in game number 3. As we check it out from Pleta's perspective, Peanut just goes home, and there was nowhere for this guy to go.
This engage here. Oh. Doran too late with the flash.
Yep.
So Pleta already has the connected, and from that point on, I don't want to go for hybrid.
That's a big old teleport from Doran. They do not want to give up this Baron, as they're just trying to keep them out of the pit. Peanut, though, should be able to have an entrance here, as now Teddy moving into the back of the pit now himself. Peanut goes over. It's not going to be the steal, as now Frog finds the Impale onto 2. Teddy gets Killer Instinct into the backline and executes Peanut, and Hanwha Esports are routed. They were too far behind, and that will be the game-winning fight here for DRX, as Zeka is just looking to defect. He wants back to his old team, I guess. Walking the wrong direction right now. Oh, never mind. It was a bait and switch. Is now the Dragon getting employed here by Sponge. The rest of DRX are looking to try and finish this one off, as Zeka is going to be able to make it out. There we go. Congrats.
Makes it out. We'll see if he can have the holds of the summer. Because DRX, they're marching up, bringing us to a game number 3, and who would have thought that coming in, Atlas?
Well, I wouldn't have thought it after game number 1, because Hanwha Esports looked so incredibly controlled. Maybe after the draft you had a bit more of an inkling, but I didn't know that DRX had this in him. That was a nice handshake there from Delight, but I just don't think it means anything at all. Pleta sacrifices himself for the good of the colony, and DRX move us to a game 3.
His favorite champions.
Yep.
For Hanwha Life, I think the composition is all right. But I don't...
Well, we're actually standing his ground. They are going to be able to win this one out. Really nicely done there. Teddy looking good on this Jin so far, as Viper is going to fight back and maybe make me eat those words. There's the flash forward. The Ignite is now down. They're looking for it, but Teddy is down so low. First blood going over to DRX, but it's Viper that's still left in the lane. And look at this damage really starting to stack up.
Particularly with the lane swap meta, that if you do get lane swap done and you have Ignite, it actually just ends your game immediately. So you really got to play a bit more respectful.
Oh, there it is. Doran managing to find the pushback. Frog is going to flash away, but it's not going to work, as Peanut will be able to cut him down.
Well, Atlas, I'm an LCK caster. If I had Gen.G T1 in the MSI finals, I would have.
Oh, it'd be great if it was the finals.
Yeah.
That's okay. But
Oh,
if
you mean in general?
Yeah, say they just meet in general. It's like you don't really want that.
I've gone full circle on it a bunch of times. You know, I'm right now. I'm in the. I'm loving
now
it.
with double elimination.
No, give it.
Does feel less.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's what you.
We just we have some regrets about what we wrote down, but we felt like it was so many years in the future. We were like, it's fine.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think Frog might be in some trouble here.
He could potentially be, as Doran's going to ram him into a wall. Peanut going to turn up, just wandering in. He'll find the Q, he'll find the stabs, and there was just nothing Frog could do. Like, where is its top lane, in which case it feels okay.
No, 80 carry vein. Sorry, 80 carry vein specifically. And they have Delight on an engage report, so I'm feeling great for the Hanwha life odds. At the same time, though, the fact that we're even discussing this in the first place, I think, is something. I'm telling you, that combo of Frog, Teddy, and Sponge, that's going to be the big one. Sponge does get spotted, so they know this is coming.
Yeah, let's see where this equalizer is going to land. Let's see what Sponge can actually find. As Cease and Desist comes in, they do manage to layer the equalizer over the top, but Delight with the counter engage is decent. As Peanut locks down 2 already, Teddy's burning, he's going to go down as well. And Frog, nothing he can do. Yahoo is now fighting against a very fed Peanut, who might be able to find a triple on the back end of that. That is going to be an ace in trade for just a pigeon.
Life just completely taken over.
Yeah.
One play was all they needed. You know
the same play from game 1 as well, because he knows that he can just walk up and find anyone, and they will probably die. They're going to move in, they're going to collect themselves the first Hextech Drake of the game, as we've only had these pivotal souls so far today. Not quite have enough teammates. As Doran is now just impaling the Rumble, and he's kind of, well, he doesn't have a lot of damage. He is just going to be able to smash him against the wall, though, and that is going to do it. That's a solo kill.
You know what you're doing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm very scared. Jonas Strong really.
Oh,
no, make it stop!
Okay, they get the flash, but there's the impale. They just can't do anything about it, and Frog is once again dead. On the other side of the rift, it is going to be Zeka falling down, so it is a trade of 1 for 1. And in fact,
I'm not going to go anywhere. Well, it is.
And what is the strategy? So
no, you hope he walks up and then you kill him and then you try to Nash.
Yeah. Or do maybe they can get in, clear out some vision.
10 the target, but just hitting
a champion, yeah. As Doran is just walking menacingly towards Yahoo, and he is just going to get impaled. Great crash down and Magnus Storm from Delight as they lock up the Corki. Life Esports now looking for even more, as Doran can just throw boulders around, walk over walls, duel. Doran. Doran is the only one.
And you know, I could see him do it.
Yeah, as Pletter is just going to get closed in on. It's a decent equalizer position, but unfortunately it just doesn't do damage. Well, it actually maybe does, as it's a double kill for Teddy. But like you were saying, who kills Doran? No one but Doran, and he is able to walk out of that one with more than half of his health bar. That's another ace, and the damage dealers are still up for Hanwha Life Esports, so they'll take a Baron.
Doran is the king of his own destiny.
Oh,
he
yes.
decides what, and he doesn't die. Right there, it says a lot about the game state when you get Rakan charmed and violated on top of an equalizer in a choke, being a 2-1. But if you're a team that is genuinely contesting for winning the LCK,
Doran not going to find too much, as the Magnus Storm also isn't exactly the greatest, but are the wallets just too heavy? And according to Frog, I think they just might be. Pletter not going to be able to get out of this one either, is just going to get punched to death. Zeka also able to take down the Corki. And now the curtains are being called, but for who, Teddy? That is the question. As there's the flash, just the flash ram into the wall. And Teddy not going to be able to find too much here. He'll get back to his fountain, but he's not going to save his Nexus. And Hanwha Life Esports, they took a little bit of a trip away from victory in game number 2, but they came right back here in game number 3, and they are now on the board here in the LCK. And definitely something that our third place team from Spring probably should have been able to achieve a little bit earlier, but definitely looking good in this last game.
Win is a win. That's available here for T1. Again, particularly with the Talia, is going to be really hard to deal with. On the flip side for Gen.G,
no harm, no foul. However, Ona being able to trade evenly on that front is certainly good news, as Lehens goes in, looks for Carrier, as Pays and Gumushi fighting, and Guma's going to say that that one is absolutely fine. The flash forward, almost, but there it is! for Carrier, oh my goodness, Lahan's being able to pick it up with the Ignite, and Carrier flight
against this in a long amount of time.
It was actually a bit of an oldie but a goodie, Ezreal Leona from back in the day, so they have to do a bit of recalibrating.
Big win here.
Yeah. T1 going to move on over and grab themselves a dragon. Canyon a little bit distracted by a Raptor camp. You can see that there is Scuttle Vision. Not going to work out as Canyon is...
Zeus is just living his best life as owner, paying a visit towards the top side.
Yeah, making his way in. Zeus is already ghosted as Keen was trying to get out of there. It doesn't quite work. Walks back, picks up a rock, but he's just dead. That is going to be the Glacial Prison. Owner going to place... Crazy. Anyway, Lahan's making his way in towards his bottom side, and there is a ward in this brush as well. There's the flash forward. Stuns go by as Solar Flare will connect. And Zeus absolutely...
Because as soon as TF is CC'd, particularly because Zeus doesn't have mercs, you're going to be fine from that point. And I think realistically you should also have prio in a lot of these lanes, most notably mid. Gen.G is going to be set up. So T1, they need to try and get in here, but they're taking a lot of poke.
Yeah, there's the Weaver's Wall as Pays is on the other side of it. Carrier goes in, True Shot Barrage is decent, but Gen.G's health bars are going down so incredibly low already. Both of the tanks have been taken out. And Pays, the only one with a decent health bar. Canyon not going to quite be able to make it out there as Jovi will finish him off, and Pays is flashing over the top of the seismic shove. And now it's Gumayusi and Ona that are on the run. Gen.G walk out victorious.
And they get the front line, but the damage dealers for Gen.G. Look at them and go, hey, they follow the same fate. So understand their willingness to try and push through, but yeah, as I was saying, the game where I got
fight as well. Aggressive Ezreal. That is what you want to see.
You have to.
So many times we see Ezreal play, professionally or not, where it is just a little bit too passive. You utilize your Arcane Shift to play defensively. Utilizing it well, I think, is using it to go forward.
You know he's
speaking
giggling.
of going... Oh, never mind, going back.
Find target, hit the knock-up, hit the CC chain, and then go from there.
Well, Canyon looking for a bit of a pincer play as the Glacial Prison doesn't find the mark. Weaver's Wall comes down as Chovy gonna get pushed back. A flash from Lahans, but he's got nowhere to go. Solar Flare comes in, he stays alive. It's the Primal Surge that keeps him up. Still, he's out of this fight now. Carrier also very low. True Shot Barrage not really finding the key targets. Neither does the Seismic Shove, and T1, they cut their losses.
And again looked like the fight that T1 were looking for.
Right?
Lahans is very far forward. Even though Chovy doesn't get hit by the prison, they're still able to get on top of this Leona. But between Lahans getting the early kill, Eclipse and Aftershock doesn't end up going.
Because Gen.G have tried to get a monopoly on it afterwards, but now the Destiny comes in. Chovy gonna just flash over the wall, and he is going to be fine. Canyon looks for an opportunity. Solar Flare comes in as Gumayusi has just dove on top of him. Not quite enough damage to take him down, though. True Shot Barrage is going to be great, and Gumayusi will be immediately punished. Shield of Daybreak, Carrier goes down as well, and Gen.G will fight back, and Pays is looking for more. They get the vision onto Zeus there, but he's not going to be discovered. That was a blind one from Canyon. Decent little attempt, but it doesn't quite work out. As Keen will be able to lock down Faker here, who was on the wrong side of that turret. And from this point on, man, it's getting real difficult for T1.
Oh, T1!
Oh.
Again! Think they have the angle, and I understand that they have the lockdown, they have the TF, and Chovy gets out. Oh, yeah.
Which I guess was blue Ezreal.
No, but there were like, I swear there were like 3 flavors of like different eras of blue Ezreal as well.
He has certainly abused items for a long time, and now it is Zeus' turn. Oh dear, Alcove Gaming not his favorite, as Keen was looking to cut him off. As soon as Gumayusi turns up, they realize that it's on the other side, as we do have Soul Point picked up for Gen.G. It is only an Ocean, but it's still going to be important. Not counting them out in the series, but this game is looking rough as Carrier is going to go for a bit of an engage here. Chains of Corruption going to connect as well, but the flash out from Canyon avoids the piercing arrow. We've got a lot of Glacial Prisons, but it's Faker that falls down, and Chovy just stands his ground. Now, Zeus on the other side of the fight. He'll find Pays, who instantly cleanses. Now waiting for that Arcane Shift to get over the wall. Valkyrie is there for Chovy as he closes in, and Canyon, he'll find the spear onto Carrier. Nowhere for him to go, and now they're underneath this inner turret, and I do not think they're safe. Keen able to tank forward, Gumayusi to be taken down. The executions one after the other, and Gen.G, I mean, it's only Ona left standing. They'll take this inner turret and maybe more.
Another Hail Mary by T1, but no one is listening to their prayers. Resources are invested for no payoff, and Gen.G is going to be bringing us very certainly to a...
Lehens really did become sort of synonymous with these kind of picks. And he's looking really, really good on it this time around as well. Spear, not going to quite find the mark there, but there is poke coming from absolutely everywhere. Zayas, oh my goodness! Canyon and Chovy doing a whole lot of work. Doesn't find that rocket, but it doesn't matter. They'll find the inhibitor. And the one in the mid lane as well as Gen.G. Utilizing this Baron relatively effectively, moving up to a 3k Baron power play.
It's a pretty good one, Atlas.
They're not going to spend that money, I don't think, because I think maybe this could be the last ditch as, okay, Ona goes in, looks for that fight, but Carrier, he's going to be the one to suffer for it. In goes Lehens as well. True Shot Barrage finding some targets. Gumayushi going to be his first one. And now Chovy just wants over the wall. He'll flash it in the end as Faker on the fountain, not going to be able to get anything done. And Gen.G, they will be able to claim the first Nexus in this series over T1, and we'll see what they have for us in Game 2. Have to see whether T1 can survive the early game a little bit longer, because we know that Ezreal, when he isn't as accelerated as Page to Corki at all, and I watched Chovy play over the last couple of days. Okay, we're looking for a dive here. No 2v2 kill, but there's the Zenith Blade in. Immediate cleanse flash from Gumayushi as they're trying to get that kill first. It is going to be first blood going over to Carrier, but it's a 1-for-1 immediately. Still, I mean, with the fact that Gumayushi goes down, not wanting to give that one away, he's going to be able to steal it with a smite. And Ona going to have to get out of there as Rocket Jump comes in. Ultimate misses there from Chovy. He's taking a lot of damage as there it is. The Impale, but the flash out from Faker just too good. As Pace possibly going to get stunned up as Lehens is right under the turret. I don't know about that one, but Gumayushi goes down. And Pace is able to pick up that kill. Can he get the other one onto Carrier as well? And it looks like the answer is going to be up. And it didn't look like they were on the same page in a lot of instances. I think if there's ever an example of that synergy being repaired, is the fact that Paze is ready to go in on one of Lehens' crazy journeys. And it's beautiful to see, as Canyon's just going to get engaged on here. Carrier pulls the trigger in a moment, and Canyon misses the flash. Gen.G just going to get punished out of nowhere here. Trying to make it happen, and this time around, T1 have been able to punish Canyon as Carrier in once again. There's the Magnet Storm. They don't quite find Paze, but Lehens standing his ground, and Carrier just going to get punished. Paze finding the last auto, and Ona just not here in time. Paze still fighting more as there's the cleanse to get out of the way of the seismic shove. Oh, speaking of seismic shove, it is Paze that now needs to have the curtains blocked, and Ona down so incredibly low. Canyon going to punish him. Gumayushi just needs one. Give the man one, but he's not going to be spared it as Canyon looks for the spear. Good dodge from Gumayushi, but he wanted kill.
Chovy has not, meaning that T1 will be able to get to a 2 Drake lead. And we talked a lot about Gen.G, talked a lot about Canyon as he needs to make sure he doesn't get taken down. And Carrier setting up a trap.
Yeah. This back is going to come out just and make sure that he stops him right at the very end. Very nicely done. So Canyon going to return the favor of the draft mount that we've had.
Singing in the streets.
Oh, 100%. And it's been a very cloudless weekend as well. It's been beautiful weather here.
Oh, it's amazing.
So making up for it with some extra cloud souls. You'll love to see it. He
That's,
really is.
Oh, it's bot lane Herald instead. T1 does have a response, but I don't know if they're enough members.
Yeah, Flash comes out just to avoid the ultimate from Chovy here. A seismic shove just barely not able to land onto Lehens there. So the turret will go down. As, okay, Gumayushi looking for the angle. Canyon's in trouble, and there it is. It's Carrier that locks it down in the end. Seismic Shove opted into by Lehens, and the last bullet will ring. Just too good, so he was always going to get caught, as Shattering Strike not going to connect here by Carrier, going to stop Lehens from being able to go back home. But I think this supportal combat not going to be that great for Carrier, as there's the ulti. Fate Seal gets a flash out of Ona as Chovy back out of there again, but Carrier doesn't have that option as Paze locks it up with a Mystic Shot. Gen.G straight out of the gate once.
Ideally, so can spend their hard-earned money.
And then join this potential fight here. You can see both of them going back home now. Teleport coming in immediately. Keen does have his Merc Treads now completed as well. Picks up some rocks from the bottom of the river. See whether he can throw him at T1 effectively. Finds Zayas with one of them. He's been doing that all game. Really got his eye in as, okay, now the Weaver's Wall will be able to guarantee this outer turret. Paze not too phased by it. Keen also.
In the previous fight, the amount of poke that Gen.G can reliably land is way lower. There's also no Corki. That obviously changes.
It's a maneuver as Lahens is... Okay,
Well,
Keria is flashing out, but there's the ulti from Chovy. He gets bounced around, but it's just enough damage that's being done. And Una is... They're going to start this one up. It is spotted by T1, but what can they do about it? That is the question. Teleport coming in, Gen.G committing to this one. Kraken Slayer done for Chovy as he makes his way back into the fight. Keen, incredibly tanky. Curtain Call has been utilized. Lahan's not going to be able to tank too many of these. Finally, he does go down, and there is a huge impale from Keen. Pei's now able to free hit once again. He'll pick up a double as the Arcane shifts, flashes, and gets himself forward. It's one last one, thanks to that beautiful red buff that was given to him so kindly by Canyon. He's going to take yet another kill, and now Gen.G are going to press even further forward. Ona, he just got out of the death chamber, and they're looking to put him back. There's the Mystic Shot snipe. Beautifully played by Payson. Can we cancel the buffs? We need to cancel the buffs, Raul.
It's too late! Atlas, they're already in the air!
Get Mr. Turley on the line!
They're on their way! Get the hotfix out!
Oh, God!
Gen.G, that's the best case scenario. Not only do you get the kill onto Owner, not only do you then get the Baron.
Of that Baron Pit beautifully, they'll now put it to work, taking down this inner turret towards the top side. Seismic Shot avoided here by Lahens as he finds the Solar Flare, or at least the slow, onto Owner and Faker. Fair bit of damage going down, Shattering Strike coming in, Keria trying to get them away from this, but this is just not going to stand in front of Gen.G. There is at least a tower falling down on the bottom side. Seismic Shove is going to connect onto Keen, but he just doesn't even notice. He doesn't care. Maybe that he thought it was gap close that he could utilize as the fate is sealed for Gumayushi. The spear going to execute him. Keen crashes into a Nexus turret. And it should just be the 2-0 right here, right now for Gen.G as they do not stop pushing forward. A 10,000 gold lead, and our MSI champions are looking to continue that streak into the LCK with a 2-0 start to the season. If this will ever die.
No MSI hangover for this team. Lahens is cackling.
He had a brilliant...
These were some of the best highlights from the 2024 LCK Summer Split matchups of the day. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.